Actually, that would be a smart move coming out from Bait, and this time around, they're the ones that have the last pick, so might be able to set themselves up for success.
Yeah, those ultra late game heroes that they have played, I think that's just down to one. I think it's either Luna or Morphling that kind of stretches into that. But everything else is mid game favored. Razor, Ursa, Wraith King, Kunkka. Kunkka is also really strong in late game, but not like your uber carry, so to say, to put that way, because you know, reasons. But at least for now, Disruptor is going to be brought up and an instant Void Lion pick into it. So Winstrike already knew what they were going up against. The Void versus Quap matchup, no-brainer. And then you have the Lion coming out too. So you have that instant Hex into Spirit Breaker's abilities. You're always going to get close enough to control the Spirit Breaker to get your spells off. Not even if you get your stun, but that Hex is super good here. And Bait is going to have to be very careful about that.
Yeah, and that's Lion is probably the second best thing when it comes to setting up the relocates. The Bane is the best one. Obviously, he has been banned, so now we get to see a Lion. I kind of expected the Dark Willow to come out, considering that Bane have these mobile heroes, especially the Spirit Breaker, who hates playing against the Bramble Maze, and we know the power of the Mars and the Dark Willow. It doesn't have to be the laning wise, but as the game progresses, the two really work well together. Their ultis also combo quite nicely, but they go for the Lion, which is, I guess, a safer choice, given if you are the ones initiating. If you are playing on the back foot, if you're playing just for the farm, then the Lion isn't the better choice, but obviously they're not going to be going that route. And Bait, they pick up a Wraith King, so there's your late gamer. Not the easiest hero to play against the Mars and the Io, but Disruptor, you know, it's one of those heroes that can be quite annoying in the lane and actually allow you to get a decent amount of CS. Not a lot of things to be afraid of. Mana drain, not the best spell to get rid of your entire mana pool. So a pretty solid Wraith King pick for sure this time around for them.
Yeah, I do like the Wraith King pickup in terms of how it works with the team. But it's not the ultra late game hero exactly what we were kind of thinking about. But they're gonna stick to their guns. I feel like it's also a sign of determination that they don't want to mix up things too much. They just bring out more comfort through Dendi's Quap and the aggressiveness from the Spirit Breaker. I think Laguna's had a pretty decent game on Spirit Breaker before, but right now I'm also kind of thinking, if Laguna is going to be playing a 4 Spirit Breaker, what do they put in the off lane for Pion? Because his Sand King didn't work out, and the last pick Sand King is not usually the best last pick to go for. Especially in this game, it doesn't seem to be having the hugest of impacts. So whatever Winstrike picks, what would you like to see Pion play? You don't have to name a hero or play style. Just give me something that you would like to see Pion do this game.
I would like to see him win the lane, because the strength of Bait is winning the offlane and then bringing Dendi to that offlane in an aggressive movement, killing people, getting that tower. That has been their most successful move so far in the early stages of the game. So I would like to see a lane dominator. They have the last pick, so they can definitely respond to what Winstrike are taking. And one more thing to touch upon the Wraith King, when you say he's not the strongest late game hero, but when you look at this game, in this game, because there are no armor heroes, they just all get crushed. So he can be quite strong, but that's a pretty solid Medusa pick. That's a hero that doesn't lose the lane per se. It doesn't crush it. It does okay against the most heroes, but it pretty much never loses. So I'm liking that Winstrike went for something like that.
Yeah, and now you have the IO as well with the Medusa, so that makes things even harder to take this Medusa down to the relocate save, plus the pumping up from IO's overcharge through the tether. So that's going to be a lot of stuff provided for this Medusa in this lineup, plus the frontline protection. For Bait, at least, on the positive side, they only have one proper range hero, right clicker, who gets affected by Mars's Arena. That's the Queen of Pain. But Quap can also move around it, so you're not playing like a Luna that's bashing her head onto the arena wall and just not getting any right clicks through. So for Bait, no Viper, no OD going their way, at least. A lane winning hero is what they need, what they want. That's not exactly the necessarily lane winner, but it does provide them some security for their cores. A very tanky offlaner to take down, pretty hard one too. And I think Darkseer also mixes up the deck a little bit as well. It's not too straightforward to read Darkseer's movements.
Yeah, it's not. It is a good hero with the Raid King because this hero, he tends to get kited around. And you jump in, let's say with the Blink Dagger, you get rid of one hero and you want to get those bonuses. That's what Bait are actually good at. Getting that for... And they're actually good at taking the first kill, to be honest, as well. Also, I'm not sure what Winstrike want to do. The Lion and the Medusa, they don't deal well with the Darkseer in the lane. So he will have a decent time, which is very important for this hero. He needs that first item. And, you know, Luna and the Io, these two deal really well with the Darkseer. I'm not sure if you send the Io with the Medusa and how much damage you'd actually be able to do to dish out onto the Darkseer. But if Soneko is laning with the Hawk, it could be a dangerous lane for the Medusa. This is not a lane dominator per se, the Darkseer, but if you hit that timing on level 3, when you have 2 points in the Iron Shell, you can actually dive these two heroes. Range heroes don't deal too well with those because they're just not tanky enough. So I have to say I'm liking what Bait have, and I think I'm actually going to go for them this time around. If they play this one properly, they have everything they need. They have burst damage, they have chase potential, they have ways to catch the heroes. Pretty much none of the heroes on the side of Winstrike are safe, and Disruptor, one of the best heroes to deal with the IO as well. So the dives from Bait are going to be even easier when the reload kits are coming in as defensive tools as well. And Soneko being a position 5 Lion, if he doesn't get some kind of help to get this Blink Dagger up and running earlier on, the catch on Winstrike is very limited. So I'm really liking what Bait came up with in this game too, I have to say.
Well, this is the time to shine. This is the game to win. This is the one for Bait, because Winstrike is up ahead 1 map. Looking for another to close out the series with their last pick, Medusa, for the Huck. Bait, they are in a tough spot. They are in a very difficult spot, but through Dendy's words, they are trying their best. And obviously all of their fans out there that are hoping and waiting for that Bait victory to come out. They've only won 3 maps in the course of their last 15 series, this being the 16th. Can they punch up that win rate as well through another map victory? I mean, it can happen at any time. Maybe it's this one, but it has to work out now.
I think Winstrike, with this kind of a draft, the draft isn't bad, but I think they're underestimating Bait. The way that I'm reading their idea of how they want to play is, let's just farm on the Medusa. These guys are not going to be moving that much. We're going to do well in the lanes because of the Mars Wisp, and the Medusa obviously does well pretty much every single time. And then the Medusa will hit the critical mass around 25-30 minute mark, and we will end it. That is their plan. But I think they're underestimating Bait a little bit. I think Bait is going to be able to read this one, and if Winstrike aren't making aggressive moves into the enemy jungle, forcing Bait to play a bit defensive, and if Bait are allowed to only be on the offensive, I think they got this one. This is the one to win for them. That is how I feel like in this one, and I'm really looking forward to them doing so as well. We definitely sound like Bait fans here.
Look at the mid vision. They have both ops wards right next to each other as well. They think they were suspecting Winstrike to maybe gank on them at the early seconds, and then you also have the control for the wards, but they have 2 wards basically showing the same, but they're also placing down that one ops ward on the cliff to make sure that Dendy has the bounty rune always active for himself. So that might also spell a bit about Dendy playing maybe a tiny bit more aggressive in this lane with his Queen of Pain, which he loves to do as well, because you're going up against the Void Spirit. You can't give any easy moments for this hero. You want to fight back as hard as you can, so getting that bounty and the bottle refill, that's going to help.
I think they also want to catch Soneko but Laguna. This might be a dead Spirit Breaker.
Ooh. That is actually Soneko. He's got more than enough damage for it, and first blood goes for Winstrike. Pion gets the courier, but Darkseer.
This is a dead Pion as well.
Oh no. Oh boy. That's not the best start for them at all. He's trying to juke around at the trees, but he's cutting down the wrong one. He finally gets it down, but the snake's going to be there with the right clicks from the Huck, and he gives up. Pion losing his life as well. 2 kills for Winstrike, and it couldn't be a worse start for them because Medusa loves early kills.
Well, I don't know what to say right now. This is...
Mids? Difficult situation for Dendi too. Low on HP, but he gets the bottle, so he is safe. He doesn't give another one away, at least. Tough start, Harry. Tough start.
Yeah, let's try not to talk about it and think about it. Let's look at
We
those
don't have
words
to. We don't
in the
have
mid
to.
lane.
I'm basically saying it is what it is. I mean, you can't stay demoralized for one. It happened. You move forward. That's what pro players do. In the top lane though, Mars is getting a decent start for himself with the IO. I think this lane should be really good for Noticed and Force Majeure. But Violent's not doing too bad either. Picking up this early farm on the Wraith King, not being pressured yet. It's just a matter of time. When does the Mars IO start to play aggressive, throwing spears and really punishing this Wraith King?
And that is the thing with the Disruptor. He's good against the IO in the later portions of the game, but in the early laning stage, you know, Disruptor, he likes to harass. Against the IO, it just doesn't work out. You're never gonna do any harassment, and he is allowing Violent to farm. But now look at this with IO being level 2. That's a ton of damage.
That is. I was also looking at the mid matchup for a bit. Dendi is a bit ahead. He got the bottle first. He got himself a bottle refill from the water rune, as Alarl only gets to get the rune with no bottle. He just got it off the courier, so a bit of an advantage here for Dendi. A couple CS ahead. Not too bad to start off the game. Still, Dendi is a really good quad player too, so a lot rests on his shoulders and his first rotation. It's kind of fun to watch, like reminiscing some mid games where you have like Ember versus Void. You see both of them rotate towards the side lane. First one rotates aggressively, and that's usually the Ember, and then Void comes in defensively to respond to the rotation. You see the Ember dive, you get 1-2 kills, and then Void brings up a triple kill at the end of the fight. So with this, you got Void and Quap. Quap, who's also great at hitting the tower too. But doesn't really look like this Quap necessarily wants to fight in mid. You could just rotate to the side lanes and get that early kill with a level 6, level 7 rotation with Sonic Wave. Let's see if he goes for the Sonic Wave level 2. Because some Quaps just skip it.
Yeah, they do. He is going for 2 points in Shadow Strike, 2 points in Scream of Pain. He thinks that he doesn't need the blink. And considering that you have these wards on the bottom part of the map, the line rotating is going to be spotted. And the IO rotating isn't going to do anything to you. So I'm liking that he is going a bit greedy on the Queen of Pain. We talked about it, that on the Queen he tends to lane really well. And we can see it in this game as well. He's 6 CS ahead of the Void Spirit, has some more denies as well. Though I think what Bait need, it is some kills, and that's why I would like Dendi to go for the Sonic Wave earlier on and maybe rotate towards the bottom lane as you mentioned, because that's where you can get kills. And Mars and the IO, they're not going to be rotating early on, especially not to the bottom lane. I guess to the mid lane bottle refill, that's something that you can expect, but towards the bottom lane it would be disastrous for the Mars or the IO lane.
A lot of damage from that 2 creep, and the third hit going into the hero from the snake, from Medusa. A lot of damage from the Hawk, and Laguna's gonna have to charge out of there. He's dead. He's already down, extending his limits a bit too much, and Spirit Breaker, despite having 5 armor, I think he just bought himself a chainmail to get that extra 4. But 5 armor, and Medusa seems to right-click for so much. She hits for 84 with the triple slippers, power treads, and an iron branch. That's no longer a soft Medusa. That's a hard Medusa.
And it comes down to those 2 kills that happened at the beginning. The Darkseer lanes, they're easy to like make mistakes in, and I think that you have to be very careful on how you're gonna be doing it, because if you start falling behind, it's a big disaster. We already talked about the Darkseer. He needs that first item, and he doesn't even have boots. He doesn't have anything. Okay, he gets the boots, not gonna be barefooted any longer, but you need that first item. Mech, Aghanims, he's going for a hood, but that's not gonna cut it for you to actually start diving people.
3-0 and a 2k lead. Dendi half HP in mid right now. Laguna also charged in onto Seneko. That was the action rune contest. But that's DD rune for Seneko. Dendi unable to secure that one. But as mentioned, they have the wards. They're going to be able to get that bounty rune. The downside is their ops board from this cliff, which we talked about in the early game, has expired. So they don't know about this one. And that might just play a big role.
Yeah, that is a big void for sure, considering that the bottom lane
Yawn.
is losing the dark.
Oh, gotta be careful, Surge. Not gonna be able to get it off. And again, this Medusa's getting out of hands. They need to stop this Medusa.
Something that tends to not happen in Darkseer lanes is that your tower goes down. But also, Darkseer is one of those heroes. Okay, top lane, let's look at the action. Notice he is actually going to be going down, or at least we hope so.
Yep, that's gonna be the first one for Bait. Noticed goes down. Gutsy is the one to take that one, but it doesn't matter. A kill is a kill. That's the most important part.
Usually as a mid player, the only time when you want to get kills is, or when you have to get kills is when you're TPing for those. And now we see Dandy not getting a kill. He actually wants to accomplish a bit more, but will be denied that room.
Ooh, Dandy in a tough spot. Under a ward, scouted out as he tries to make a rotation in here into the top lane and try and go for that bounty room. But there was none there. There was nobody in the jungle, and instead 3 heroes run straight into him out of nowhere. And a tough loss. Winstrike is enjoying themselves right now. Like the Hawk, first in net worth, 4,100 in net worth. Starting to build into Yasha. Mars is following up second, even though he did get killed once. He's still pretty well up in farm. Noticed 55 last hits, 19-9 is nice as well against the Raid King.
Yeah, 58 last hits is just so much. I don't know if you... I remembered that stat because I was so impressed. That Collapse had the most CS at 10 minutes out of all the offlaners in TI, and it was 56. At 10 minutes. Yep. At 10 minutes into the game. And notice in this game, he has 60. Obviously, you're not playing against a TI caliber team, but still, it is quite impressive, and it's only going to get bigger. And look at it. Yep. His Medusa is 500 gold away from him.
And another rotation onto Pion. He does get a surge off, but it does not matter to dodge the Remnant because Laurel is on top of him, and he knows exactly what to do. And this Void picks up his second kill. Pion is not off to a good start. 3 deaths on the Darkseer so far. But still playing to their strengths. They still have the Wraith King in a pretty decent start for Violent. He's got his armlet picked up. He's going to go for a Soul Ring with his face boots.
The good thing about the Raid King is it's one of those heroes that can stand his ground in the lane, and that will allow the rest of Bait to make moves on the bottom part of the map or run towards the Raid King, which is something that they're doing right now. This time around, the Sonic Wave will be there, and the Wisp is close to the Mars, so they might actually take down 2 with the Raid King skeletons. The tower will be in a little bit of a tough spot as well.
Laurel? Oh, he's a bit too far away. Then he also scouts out this big stack. Iron Shell is there. The smokes will pop. They finally found the Void Spirit. He doesn't have a Dissimulate available. He's got 2 charges in his ulti, though. But this is a big one for Bait if they can catch Laurel. But he just jumps away again. Gutsy is coming up the side, though. Dandy's got a Sonic Wave available. And there we go. Is it going to be the chance to use it? No, the stun from Soneko comes in from the side. The Darkseer is also in trouble as Dandy's already fallen. Laurel is still alive, but he finally goes down as Winstrike's noticed. Is also showing up into this area. Drops down the arena. And Bait will lose 4 heroes at the cost of just Laurel losing his. Winstrike again with an early good rotation to save the day.
That was the perfect Ether Remnant coming out from Laurel. That is what saved his life. That is what killed the Queen of Pain. Because if the Ether Remnant doesn't connect, he gets the Sonic Wave. Soneko, he doesn't get that close for the stun. The Sonic Wave pushes him, and it's all different. But Laurel against the odds there, surrounded by so many heroes, and he does use his spells perfectly, despite not having the Dissimulate. Look at the Dissimulate. It's a perfect spell in this game because if you don't have the Static Storm, you won't be able to do anything to him. But still, he does find a way to make it work for his team. And Bait, they go for an aggressive move, but I still think they could have made that one behind the tier 1 there. They wanted more. They wanted Laurel, and because of it, they'll be punished. But at least they're making moves. This means they open up the map. This means they can take down the bottom tier 1. And it's still, even though they're losing more at this part of the game, at least they're making moves. And that's
the most important thing. Never go passive. Never go passive. At least try to make some plays around the map. Get some map control. Tower taken down. These are the things you do. I'll relocate into mid, though. Dendy's going to be in a bit of trouble here. Soneko's there. The Static Storm beautifully placed by Gutsy. Can they save Dendy? They can. The Sonic Wave turnaround. 2 kills for Bait. but still Laurel is in action. Pion is also going to be there, but he doesn't have the wall available, but they will get the glimpse out at least onto this hero. Another jump, but he's got no abilities remaining. Charge is going to be up in 1 second, but they don't have the damage anymore. So Neko might be a kill though. Gotsi still 25 seconds cooldown on glimpse, so not going to get another one out onto the Lion. But nicely setting up there. They saw the relocate kick in, and the patience from Gotsi with that static storm. He waits for the final second until that one actually pops off. Gets that nice static storm for himself and turns it around. Dendi getting some kills for him too, but still it's not over. Laguna, 100 HP. Winstrike's got them heroes, all 5 in this mid lane. They want to pressure this tower down.
No static storm, no Sonic Wave. This means that the tower is gone. Bait, they might put Violent in front, but he's not a big enough of a threat to push back Winstrike. He's gonna try to delay this as much as possible. Though a nicely placed Ether Remnant will make sure the tower goes down. Wall?
Okay. I guess he was trying to get a vacuum out, but the cast range on back is so small. He would have to go very close. By the time he gets close, there's going to be like Arena Spear right to the face. But, well, an ulti used. Though the tower is down, Winstrike still up ahead, 10-4, 2K. Looking at the itemization situation right now. Mars is going for Refresher.
Immediately?
Not immediately, but he's still going for Refresher. So that's something that strikes my eye, at least. Blink BKB Refresher.
Yeah, we have seen Refresher Mars just do so well.
Yeah.
Though, I guess you do need a Blink. You need the BKB before you go that route. And once he gets a Refresher, I think we're gonna be at the end of the game. The good thing for Bait, they did keep the Void Spirit quite. Okay.
No, that's just a perfect kill. I mean, if they just lose this, that's actually fine. They force a relocate for it. You lose the support's life for this, that's fine. Pion gets out. He had no mana.
Yeah, this time around it wasn't the core that you kind of want to commit all in on and try to save him. But overall, Winstrike, with the opening of the mid lane tower, they might have lost that one fight, but they opened the tower. This means that they can start applying pressure, and we thought that they're just gonna be in the back, like farming, but they're actually controlling a lot of the map. And I like the ward that they have at the bottom part of the map. They see every movement into their jungle, allowing their Void Spirit to take the hard farm, if you want to call it that, on the bottom part of the map, because every charge will be spotted. You have 2 wards, and that is something that Bait cannot allow. They need those wards down. I guess that one is a sneaky one in the close to the river, but the one next to the outpost, that one needs to die. And now they see it with the skeletons. Someone needs to take it down. It's giving too much info to the side of Winstrike.
That is agreed. Too much information given right now is not what Bait wants to give. Need every bit of advantage that they have. They're gonna smoke in the cover of darkness. Creep Wave does not have that much vision to show, so Bait is gonna be getting this one successfully through. Violent finds the ward. And the Hawk is being targeted. Tough jump, but this one needs to work. Nicely positioning as well here, hiding there. It's like it's as if he knew. And the pings are actually coming out from the Lion, so
I think they should have allowed that ward to live until the smoke was done. It did give a false sense of security to the Medusa.
Violent goes in for the blink stun though on the Medusa, and he doesn't get the gaze off inside the static storm. Mana pool completely gone. They also got the Lion inside. The Sonic Wave coming in too, and the vacuum is going to be there as well. But the damage turn around for Winstrike. The buyback is also coming in from Lion. They're going to take down the Hawk, but they will also lose necessarily at least one hero in the process. Wraith King does come back. He blinks away, and the Lion Finger doesn't kill Dendi.
Actually dodged the stun.
Dodged
it was coming towards him. It was coming towards him. He was pretty much dead there in Dendi. I actually thought he, but you can't dodge the finger damage, at least not that way.
Yeah, not the finger damage, but now able to dodge the stun. That would have killed him otherwise. He was so low on HP, would have been enough. Alright, Gotsi is down, and Pion, well, 3 HP. Remnant dodge. Oh, this is like playing Toho again, trying to dodge every single bullet that's flying your way, but The last one takes him. That's the spear from the Mars. Still, Bait has to pay a price for this one. But they got the Huck. They got the Medusa and killed him. And got his killing spree streak. So that's something. It's not too bad, to be honest.
That was solid. The problem I saw was how Bait disengaged. You see, they have vision on the bottom part of the map. That's the part of the map they control. That's the part of the map that's easier to control for them. And Winstrike, they don't have that good Roche taking potential. So I'm not sure why the Disruptor and the Darkseer didn't immediately run to the bottom part of the map and kept themselves safe. Because if they managed to do it, then you could go in again. But now Dendi, he doesn't have resources. You lost your heroes and you actually allowed Winstrike to position themselves in a defensive way again, which will make their defense of this mid lane tower a bit easier once again. So Bait, nice move, nice idea, but in the end they gave a bit too much.
Okay, they static storm the Lion. Relocate, no save needed. So Neko lives, static storm used, but no, and the wall as well. 2 ultis, not for a kill.
And this is a Roche now.
World's luckiest Lion.
I don't see a way that they defend Roche right now. Winstrike, they wanted to go for Roche anyways, and Bait, they had ways to fight, but not anymore. If they don't take down the mid lane tower right now, Bait, while this Roche is going down, it's gonna be disastrous. They need the map open, they need to force some things out, but look at how afraid they are. They don't know exactly what their enemies are doing.
And Laguna spotted under the ward. The duels will connect, and the relocate is also going to be following up, so they will make sure that this Bara for him is out of play. There's a DD rune as well right in front of the Roche pit. Doesn't matter, at least for now, because Roche is down. The Hawk might as well just pick it up for himself. But he will go for Laurel, so Void will get some refill for his bottle. And Bait, they will need to score a successful defense. Not necessarily under their towers, but at least on the high ground, depending if Winstrike's going to be pushing that far with the Aegis.
Well, Winstrike now with the Aegis on the Medusa, they can definitely take down the tier 2 on top. And I don't think he needs to be afraid of stepping up the high ground and forcing out TPs, right? Because you have the Aegis on the Medusa killing her twice on Bait. They just don't have enough in the tank. So he can do whatever he wants right now. The Hawk and the rest of his team, they don't even need to be close to him. So that's why they're controlling 2 lanes, which isn't the easiest thing to do when controlling the top part of the map. If you're controlling the triangle, then it is. So this is a lot of map control from Winstrike, and their gold lead should actually start going up. But Bait, finally, a really good move for them. Their macro plays have been pretty good in this one. They're mirroring the movement. They know that if the Medusa comes to their high ground, they at least need to be taking down this tier 2 and Violent. He's on it right now. No Deso just yet, but the damage is still gonna be quite high.
Yeah, I don't know if Dendi has been summoning the ancient force of Perkele somewhere, because he's definitely bringing up some spice. They are, like you said, they're macroing the map really well. Bottom tier 2 tower down, but right now almost walking into this trap. Laurel, he finds Gutsy. Gutsy's a perfect target. They're going to get this Disruptor dead right away. But that's only a support. Can the rest of them TP out? Pion TPing away. Medusa, the Wraith King's going to be there out as well. So the Hawk doesn't find one target on time. And they just lose 1 for it. So that's a good trade for Bait. Tier 2 tower for a dead Disruptor. I would take that trade any day.
Yeah, that's pretty good, though. What Winstrike now are gonna do, they're gonna run towards the top part of the map, because that's where they have vision. On the bottom part, you smoke. On the top part, you try to hunt even when you don't have the smoke. And the Medusa can stay alone on the bottom lane. That's gonna give them so much control of the map. They can pretty much choose what they want to do, and they want to fight.
Oh, smoke on smoke. Oh, but they use the skeletons as well, so they know that this is going on. And Dendi's smoke has also popped right now. Laurel jumping in the middle. They got the remnants as well. They got themselves the Mars coming in, and a beautiful combo coming out from Winstrike. They're going to take down Violent for the first time. He's not even doing any damage to this Mars right now. And there's the turnaround for the second attempt. They got the wall down as well. Quap is going to buy back in. Dendi coming in for the second life right now. Line is low in mana. And there we go. Dendi's coming in. And Medusa coming beautifully positioning there, but they do get the glimpse from Gutsy, buying some time. And he's sitting inside the kinetic field. But they will have to retreat from this one. Laguna trying to get out, and look at Pion. He is surrounded. Enemies everywhere. Double kill for Laurel. And Bait, buyback. 2 heroes dead. What did they get? What did they get from Winstrike? Not a single kill. Only 3,000 damage dealt.
This is the thing, you have your Queen of Pain. If she dies, it's a problem. And that was actually the best position for Bait to fight in. If the Medusa was far away, you know, Winstrike, they were in a 4 versus 5 scenario, and your Queen of Pain dies. If she had survived, you get 1 kill instantly. It's 5 versus 3. They run, and you have the glimpse. There is so many chances for Bait there, and it just so happens that Dendi was the one to show. I don't know why they did so. They have the Spirit Breaker. They have the Wraith King to outpush the lanes, but they just give up Dendi. And the Sanjan Kai just this time around wasn't enough for him to survive. He's usually on the Queen of Pain, has a really good sense of his limits. But this time around, they thought without the Medusa that the enemies just weren't gonna be fighting, and that was just a bad read coming out from them, resulting in a disastrous fight.
Bottom tier 2 being pressured here by Winstrike as Bait is moving around in the mid areas of the map. There's no real objective for them to push either. Laurel is actually TPing all the way to the outpost, so Winstrike might be looking at taking over the triangle, maybe sticking around the area for a little bit longer. What's their smoke situation? They don't have any smokes on Bait's side, and doesn't look like there's any smokes on Winstrike's. At least their shops are empty. Lion is holding onto one. And, okay, so Laguna has 1, Soneko has 2. So 1 smoke at least on each. Still, after this one, let's see if this one works out. Violence, he's on the high ground. He pops noticed. He goes for the quick blink, goes for the ward. It's always nice to have. He is building that refresher next. Soneko, nice hex on the Wraith King. Glimmer Cape is there. Arena placed down. A lot of damage onto the Wraith King. Looking for the first kill. The first life will be taken. What does Bait do with this one? Spirit Breaker still far away. Violence is already down. Gotzi is also low. They can't get the Spirit Breaker out in time. And now the Disruptor is also dead. Straight to the Yules to simulate. 2 heroes gone from the defense from Bait. No buyback on Dendi, but there are buybacks at least on these 2 dead heroes. And everybody else as well on Bait's team. So I guess you can get a costly fight in your base with buybacks, but try to kill this Scotty Butterfly Medusa. Holy heck, the Huck.
Oh, he's too big. He's really too big. he just skipped the Manta. He skipped the Dragonlance. He saw how the game was going, and Yasha into a Skadi, now getting a Butterfly. No one touches this guy, especially with the Wisp. So he can stand his ground even without the Aegis. And this is kind of the part of the game where your only idea that you can kind of come up with is just go run in and fight. And I think you have to kill the Medusa. If you don't kill the Medusa, you're losing the fight 100%, and they're going around. They think they can catch the backline. That's not gonna happen. Look at Winstrike's positioning.
Tries to poke the Hawk a little bit, but he's also getting the full hate from the team, but they're also chumming in from the backline. Look who they got the Static Storm down. Io's gonna be inside it. Relocate not gonna be able to use, and Soneko's gonna go down to the Sonic Wave. Force Majeure being forced away by Laguna. They also got the Dendi thrown into the air, but the spear will connect from Notice, and that will be the end of Dendi. And Dendi's not gonna be coming back with the buyback, coming in for the Wraith King and from the Darkseer, but they're on the run. They're trying to disengage. They're trying to get away from themselves, but Laurel and the Hawk are just relentless with the chase. Notice will take down 1, and it will take Gotzi. Violent is gone. Buyback is coming out from the Disruptor, but they're running out of damage. They only have supports remaining and the Darkseer, so they're not going to be able to hold this much longer. Medusa lives. Soneko bought back into this. Winstrike is going to force it out. It will be loss number 16 for Bait as Winstrike closed this out 2-0.
Yep, they do. Bait, 2 of their players disconnect right now. Beyond and Violent definitely not feeling too great about what happened. I still think this could have been a better game for Bait, but they lost the lanes. When you're already having confidence issues after so many losses, the lanes need to go somewhat okay for you and Pion. 0 and 7 on the Darkseer, but that early. I think when they gave those 2 kills with the state they're in right now, Bait, I think that's probably where Winstrike knew, okay, guys, we got them. They're not coming back from this one, and they really never did. Dendi again on the Queen of Pain, having a solid performance, I have to say. Nice mid lane. He got a few kills. He survived a few attempts on his life, but in the end, it just wasn't enough, despite Bait moving relatively okay around the map in this game in particular.
Yeah, it just didn't really offer them much of a challenge, to be honest. If you really look at just numbers and how this game was played out, but Bait was a lot better in game number 2 compared to game number 1. We talked about their macro play, but I think it just kicked in a little bit too late. And we also discussed about the importance of the laning stage, picking lane-winning heroes. Last pick Darkseer didn't work out. It was the complete opposite in the end when we saw the result of the Darkseer not getting himself a good lane. So with that, Bates' defeat is a pretty stinging one because now it looks like they are actually going to be out of the lower division, since the situation for them is followed. They have to play against V Gaming next. That's not going to be an easy opponent. V Gaming is fighting for a spot in the first division. And then the last match will be against Fantastic Five. And for Fantastic Five, that is an important game. But for Bait, it's no stress, low reward match. Basically, for them, it's just the last series of this DPC tour. So that's basically the story for Bait right now. They are looking like indefinitely out unless they can pull off a miracle of an upset against V Gaming.
Yeah, it's looking really bad for Bait right now because as you said, V Gaming has been looking pretty solid. They had dropped the ball against Gambit, but pretty much every other series they looked pretty convincing. They even won against CIS Rejects. Bait, maybe when they're fighting against stronger opponents, maybe they find it in themselves to win the Winstrike. You could argue that they're a stronger opponent as well, and Bait just didn't show up today. This was just easy work for Winstrike. You couldn't see in any of those games that Bait had any kind of chance after like the 5-10 minute mark, and that is a big problem.
It is. And now if you look at Winstrike's situation, though, with them winning this series, that's an important point for them as well. They now push themselves to 3-2, meaning that they still have 2 more series. Wait, sorry, 2 more series or 3 more series remaining? Why is my maths failing me? 2 more series after this. So CIS Rejects and V Gaming. So they have to play against the top 3 teams, 2 out of them. So if Winstrike is able to sneak in between, we might actually get some proper drama here in the Eastern European Division, since that would make us 4 teams fighting for 2 spots. I like that situation. It's not like one team is dominating everybody else like it seems to be in almost every region, that there's one team above the else. There's a second team who's a contender. We have 4 contenders here. We have nobody in the clear.
Yeah, and Winstrike, they had some I wouldn't want to say bad performances, but they didn't show up that well against Hydra, which is one of the top 3 teams. And then we're looking at them against CIS Rejects and against V Gaming, and we think, okay, they might not be able to pull it off. But then we look at who's playing for Winstrike, and Soneko is still a very talented captain. He is a very talented player. When you look at these names, they have been playing Dota for quite some time. A lot of them in very successful teams as well. So I'm actually thinking they have a chance. They have a shot of winning against both those teams. The problem I see is, though, CIS Rejects, they're getting better and better. At the start, they were not as good as they are right now. I think they are stepping it up, and that is going to be a problem for Winstrike. So that's why I'm looking forward to talking to some of the Winstrike players, just to ask them what do they think, how much of a chance do they stand against CIS Rejects, and how are they going to be preparing for that one.
Well, we are still waiting for our winner interview. We do have one, so don't disappear anywhere. By the looks of it, at least that's what I have been told a moment ago. They're still deciding who is going to be in the interview with us, with me and Harry Freak. So we'll have to wait just a tiny bit longer until we get our player on, get them that good moment's rest. It is still early in the day. So let's see if we see some waking up faces behind the camera. That would also be quite I mean, sometimes you see some players, like we actually talked about this a lot in the Finnish scene when we did a international CS:GO tournament that was paneling. We talked about a pro player's schedule. So if you're preparing to play early games, or if you're preparing to play night games, you have to coordinate your schedule accordingly, so that you start your day early enough that you still get your exercise, you get yourself to wake up, you get your warm-up games, and then you have the officials, so you're ready. It's not like you just wake up, go straight from bed, into the game. Like, unfortunately, sometimes it is the case that a player literally jumps out of bed to join the draft, you know? So that that can happen sometimes. But what do you think about that? Like, poor player mentality and adjusting for the clock.
It does happen. What you just stated is that people tend to wake up and go into the game immediately. On the highest of levels, I had a coach of mine in a team that actually demanded that before we would go into even a pub game, right, that we have to have like 10 minutes of preparation with some small games on the internet that he found for us that are pretty much better for FPS games, but they're not bad to kind of wake you up to get the juices flowing. And then you have to last hit for 10 minutes in a lobby, and then you can play a game. So that's what for a pub, and I'm guessing that it's much more strict when it comes to professional teams right now. I don't know if everyone has strict coaches, but they definitely should.
So that's something that you always have to kind of adjust to. Is if you're playing at the top level, you kind of have to organize your inner clock in some very short time spans as well, especially if you're playing boot camp stuff. You have to be up early, you have to get your warm up, you need to be playing before you go to the officials, so it's not like your warm up is the official game. We had something similar like that when we were casting another tournament like 1.5 or maybe even almost 2 years ago. We had one of the players think that they were in a scrim, but it was actually a $10,000 tournament and they went to win it. So I remember talking in the winner interview. I was like, yeah, he thought it was a scrim, so he was feeding mid with Viper or Bristleback. I don't remember which hero he was playing, but he died like 8-9 times. He was diving tier 3 towers at 10 minutes. And literally, he's just so he was playing Bristleback because you wouldn't park in front of a tier 3 tower in mid if you were something else than a Bristleback, right? Unless you're a Timbersaw. So he's just sitting there. He's getting killed all over again. Their other lanes are getting farmed. They're pushing out, and he was just telling, he literally thought it was a scrim because it was his first game of the day. Like,
yeah, when I watched OG, not in TI8 but in TI9, where they completely dominated, they looked like they convinced themselves that they were playing pubs and
Right.
against players that are like 3000 MMR below them. That's what it looked like, the way that they were playing, because you usually give a bit more respect to your opponents and not just dive their tier 3 at 10 minutes in. So I guess it's a smart approach, and I definitely thought, okay, these guys, do they even know that they're playing TI and they're crushing everyone? But still, look at the way that they're doing it. So that story doesn't surprise me one bit.
So we've been told that Mag should be in our interview, but he still hasn't arrived. So we're still waiting for him to show up so we can head over to our last segment of this cast. I do want to remind all of you viewers out there, I know you had some thought, Harry. I'll let you talk in just a second. But we have more Division 1 action coming up right after this one. So there's going to be a bit of a break until we start cracking down and jumping into some pretty hype series. Unique versus PogChamp, and then Team Spirit versus Na'Vi are going to be played out right after this one. I think there's still an hour break in between. So that's our schedule for today.
Those should be interesting, but definitely not as interesting as this one that we watch right now. Anyways,
sure.
Panda, usually we see players kind of point fingers. No, you do the interview. You do the interview. If you were a player, would you like giving interviews, or would you just cover in fear like we have some of the players here?
I was responding to the admin at the same time. So talking about interviews, I think giving interviews is something very important for, especially, like, I won't say Division 2, but Tier 2 and Tier 3 players in general, because obviously you would be maybe a bit afraid to give one, but it's your chance to kind of show yourself to the masses. This is your moment. We're focusing on you, kind of. That's our whole narrative is built on promoting players, coaches, organizations, sponsors, whatnots. So obviously it'll be interesting to get the spotlight. And talking about the spotlight, I think Mag has just joined us on the call. Mag, hello, how are you doing?
Yes, hello, doing fine, doing good. Trying to Trying to use my webcam so you can
Oh,
see
it's
me.
fine. Actually, we can't get your webcam on because we just have me and Harry
Okay.
Freak here. But so that's okay. But congratulations on your win today against Bait. That means that you're still actually competing for a possible position in Division One. I talked with you on the start of DPC or the first tour this year. You guys were definitely setting yourselves up with some high standards, bringing the Hawk and Soneko, bringing the experience to the team, and signing the whole No Marcy roster to Winstrike. How's it been for you guys so far? Obviously, Dodrin was not playing today, but for the past 4 weeks, we haven't really talked with you since then. So, what is Winstrike looking like right now, and how are you guys doing in general?
Overall, we're doing good. Like after the vacation, I was surprised because all players was playing good. Like when you have 2 weeks of vacation, usually when you're starting playing scrims, you have a lot of problems that you need to fix. But we was in good shape, and we got lucky to find stand-in. Like
Mm-hmm.
with Doderen situation, it was like first day of scrims, and we find out few hours before that Doderen cannot play because he just don't have internet. Like the whole
Ah.
country don't have internet because of the situation in Kazakhstan. But
Oh, yeah. I heard
we,
about
we
that.
we got lucky to find a good standing Larl. This guy is playing pretty well, and he is in good relationships with a few players from our team because he played with them together. It's
Mm-hmm.
Noticet and Force Major. They played together in the team, so it was easy to play with him, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen next. Like we not we didn't know right now. For example, the next game against V Gaming, right? And we don't know with
Mm-hmm.
who we're gonna play because if Dodren can fix his situation, um, it's not about him to fix. It's like what is that situation is gonna be. Near to the our game. But right now, how we started pretty bad because we have two lose on DPC, and it was unlucky for us. We played bad. It will be much better, of course, if we have at least only one lose. It will be much better situation. Right now, we just have only one option. We need to win all remaining games to compete for the second spot for Division One. It's yeah, situation like this.
Yeah, I understand the situation is pretty tough and rough right now, especially with Dodrin
Oh,
being out.
it's fine.
But yeah,
It's life. You know,
it's life. That's what it is. Yeah, you guys
yes.
adapt. But I have to say, watching Laurel was pretty fun today. He played really well. He's like what ranked 38 in the leaderboards right now. So your players are definitely correct about the fact that he plays well, and he definitely did today. You think you're going to be playing with Laurel in the future potentially as well?
I cannot say anything. Like as I
Mm-hmm.
said, it's more depends about Dodren situation because we don't know what is gonna happen in 1 2 weeks. So we just need to see. Right now we're playing with Lard because we don't have any other option. And as I said,
Mm-hmm.
we got lucky because
Yeah.
in such situations it's kind of problem to find a good standing. But we got lucky. We have a good standing player, so we just practicing. We won today, and we gonna prepare for the next game.
All right. All right.
That's it.
Well, we have a couple questions about the game. I think Harry Freak, go ahead. You got some more in-depth stuff.
So Mag, in the first game, you guys kind of crushed them, and then at the end of the game, you slowed down. You didn't want to end the game. You wanted to wait for Roche. You wanted to wait for their mistake. What was the idea there? What were the communications like? Were you just afraid of losing, or you just wanted to play a clean game completely in that game one?
Okay, as you know, I cannot be in Discord
Oh.
during the game, so I don't know about the communication. Overall, after the game, I said that as for me, as I was watching the game, I feel like we was a bit afraid how it looks in the game, like afraid to lose or something, because we was, and that's why we was playing quite slowly. during the laning stage, for example, we was doing pretty good, but we just we should rotate a bit early to help OD to secure the tower and or just cover him with clockwork. But it was easy game, as you said. We could finish early, but yeah, we was playing to win this game for sure. Like
So,
not giving any chance to the opponents, just playing like to secure this game like 100% to win this game without any chances for enemies. That's why maybe we didn't finish the game early.
so your speech to the team after the game definitely woke them up, because in game number 2 they seemed a lot more aggressive. Do you feel like when you're coaching them, when there's a space between the games and you tell them something, do you feel like they 100% listen to what you say, let's say in scrims, even though it might lose them the game, even though they think it might not be the best idea? Do they listen to you blindly, or do they still tend to be hesitant from time to time?
You cannot listen. Yeah, of course you can listen blind, like what coach saying. You just doing it. But from my side, I'm not saying stuff like this, like that cannot be, that can affect the game that we're gonna lose it. I'm just saying from my perspective, and of course everyone is listening. Mm, it's like when players inside the game and few minutes after the game, like they maybe didn't realize a lot of factors, a lot of things, and like from my side, I saw whole picture, and of course I can just give um, some some tips or some how to say it
Advice.
advice, yes, and from my side, it's more like I'm giving it. We can talk about it, and in next time, like we have, as you said, we have not much time during the games, and we have time to change something. Maybe also we have time to change something in draft stage. So we need to talk about it in this little space.
Okay, I definitely like that approach. And one more thing, Mag, since we know that you had quite a successful career, do you sometimes feel bad not playing, or do you really enjoy the coaching seat?
At the start of my coach career, like right now, it's a bit more than 3 years. I was working 3 years in Navi. It was a good start for me as a coach to um, like I have a lot of experience with working with different players rosters. So at the start it was quite hard, yeah, to be a coach. Like I was always feeling like as a player I wanted to play, yes. But right now it's much easier for me. I'm having I'm not like fun. I'm feeling really good to be as a coach when I see players listening me, when I see progress in our team working with the young players. It's always I feel like blessed just doing my job that I love, and I'm trying to progress as a coach always, like as I did as a player. It's just a new how to say new stage of my career, not a new
Yeah,
part,
yeah, a new phase.
yeah, new part of my
Hmm.
career, and it's still a lot I need to how to say,
Well, I guess
like,
there's a lot of learning and reflecting as well.
yeah, and a lot to show, like,
Yeah.
because it was not much good results. Like we didn't make it to the last TI. We was at TI9, but didn't show our best. So it's still a lot to show as a coach. And working with Soneca right now, I really like it because we work it together. We played together in 2017 in Vegas Squadron.
Hmm.
So we have a good synergy, good understanding, and as a captain coach, it's quite important, yeah, to have this synergy
Yeah, yeah.
between captain and coach. I'm learning something new every day. I'm trying to learn something new. My teammates, I don't know, like what to say. I'm still in love with Dota. What I can
Okay.
say, because I'm
That's
still
great to
playing
hear.
a lot pubs. Like I love to be in shape. Like when I'm not playing sometime because I was focusing on some different things. I love to focus on Dota, trying to up rank because it's all I just feeling better. Like my game understanding, I feeling better when I'm playing a lot.
All right, that's absolutely great to hear that you still have the passion and the love for the game. But yeah,
Yes.
we did talk about the synergy and the history that you have with Soneko being together for so many years, and that's actually a pretty unique aspect that you have a player-coach relationship from such a long time that you kind of build it kind of happens by itself, the synergy and the chemistry between the player and the coach. But outside of serious Dota talk, I've got one final question for you, Mag, and this is actually back to the interview question I talked with you before. So, if you had to live the life of a Dota hero, you mentioned Brewmaster. And you mentioned good memories and some kinds of memes about this hero and me. Where can we find these memes? And will you be willing to share some history of you and Brewmaster somewhere?
Oh, it's quite easy. I even have a link. It was like
Oh.
2014 Team Empire. We was playing on Dream Hack, I think it was, or Dream League.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was first Dream League season, I think.
All right.
And like it was a game against Cloud9. It was some, situation with I was Brewmaster, and it was situation in Roche pit, and suddenly pause when Roche is low HP. And what happened next? It's just it's a history. It's a
Mm-hmm.
meme. Yes. Like I can share the link on, on this.
Yeah, sure thing.
Like
I'd love to see it.
for English community, it's hard to understand because it's in Russian. But
Yeah.
and it was 2014. Okay, how to send it to the chat here?
Oh, it's fine. You can just send me like a direct message or something. I'll make sure to share it forward because my meme game is weak, and even though I'm from Finland, I don't talk that much Russian. But I'm pretty sure we
Okay.
can get
The
something to
situation
work out.
was, as you
Thank you,
understand,
thank you so much,
this
Mac, for that.
suddenly game was paused,
Uh huh.
and it was paused by admin. Like he did it
Right.
by mistake, but it was very like
Oh,
situation
this is
when
old.
Roche is low HP, and we was afraid that they can just steal the ages after the pause, or even kill the Roche and steal the ages. And
Right.
I was young, young and hot guy that with the how to say with the hot blood. And
Yeah.
I typed something in all chat. It was in Russian, and it was like, "I will crush your face." And the Russian chat just blow up because it was really, really fun. It was and they of course, like if you do it right now in 2022,
hmm
you're gonna get banned from the
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah.
But in that time it was fun. It was fun situation. It was not usual situation, and yeah, it was really fun, and it comes from this the mem, I mean.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks so much for sharing that. I'll make sure to link that forward because it's a piece of history as well. I'm looking at the video on the first second. I can see the old Dota UI, the Engine One stuff, Roche Pit still on the dire side of the map, all that stuff. So make sure to share that. Thank you so much, Mac, and thank you so much for the interview as well. It's a pleasure to talk with you, man.
Thank you, friends, and have a nice day. Thank you. Bye
Have
bye.
a nice
You as
day.
well. Bye
Bye.
now.
One more
Huh?
thing. One more thing.
Go ahead.
Don't
Go ahead.
forget to support Team Winstrike and buy our team bundles. That's all.
Exactly. Get the support back for
Yeah.
Winstrike. Thank you so much, Mag. I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye bye, guys.
Bye, man.
Bye.
Well, you heard the man. Get the support pack. They have some really good voice lines as well, so make sure you get those. This was a really long interview, but holy crap, Mag, absolute legend of a man. Like, such a great opportunity to actually get to talk to him, learn something new from him, and hear from him his perspective as well. He seems jolly happy right now, you could say, and very happy with the situation of the team, minus what's going on with Dodran's country, which is obviously unfortunate for us all.
Yeah, sometimes when something bad happens in your team, and then something works out, you actually tend to be more happy than you would otherwise if you just won this game and were doing well with Dodgen, because it's a sigh of relief.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you were like, okay, it's gonna be disastrous now. What do we do? And you're actually worrying about your player as well on top of it. But then at least it somewhat works out on your side, and hopefully it works out for Dodgen as well, so that he can come back and be even stronger with Winstrike. But yeah, he is pretty happy, and it's always nice hearing that.
It is. And Winstrike's in a good spot in the groups as well. But we're going to close out for Division 2. And after about 30-ish minutes, we will return to a panel to discuss through Division 1 and the situations, what's going on there, because Team Spirit is going to be playing on later on today against Mag's old team, Na'Vi. But before that, there is Team Unique versus PuckChamp. So don't sleep on that one. PuckChamp is still almost tying up the top with 4-1. Well, Team Spirit and Hellraisers are 4-0. Who's going to be taking the lead in the groups today? Might be just the week to find it out. So don't miss on that. Don't sleep on that. Stay on the channel. We'll see you in a bit. Me and Harry Freak, though, we are going to close it out for our half. And we will see you next week with more Division 2 action. So until then, you know the words. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye, and see you next time.